Hello? Hello, hello? We are live, I believe? Wow, indeed.
Are we live?
So true, Mana, so true.
I don't know if my internet's lag. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, we are live. I was like, I don't see myself.
It takes a second, Hello! Welcome, everybody! Hi. I know this is like sort of short notice because I just tossed this on my channel like an hour ago, but hello!
Don't worry, I'll bring in the if I scream really loud and I just say help, and then everyone just comes in.
That'll work. Perfect.
You guys, she lured me in. She said there would be free boba and snacks, and all I heard was boba, and now I'm here.
Well, listen, I mean, there'll be boba after this. It's fine. We just have to get through this first, just really quickly. It's like delivery. It's gonna take a while. We'll sit and talk for a little bit. It's fine.
Oh, so it works like that.
Yeah.
That's why you were asking for my personal information.
Yeah. You know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You'll get your boba. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not lying. No, don't listen to numbers. I'm not lying. I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I would never tell a lie.
You know what? I believe her. Honestly, always believe an anime girl on the internet. They would never lie to you.
Never tell a lie. Never.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mariume, by the way. I just realized I didn't introduce, like, some people can't read the name tag, and I was like, oh, I should probably say hi and introduce myself.
Yeah, I need to get a better and bigger name tag placed somewhere for people. But yes, this is Mariume, a lovely YouTuber, and usually you do a lot of like commentary stuff, right?
I do a lot of commentary, and I kind of talk about my experiences being a VTuber. It's kind of like it's like a weird in-between of, like, you know, those vlogs and, like, lifestyle advice, but also, like, commentary on things that are happening around the VTubing scene. It's like that.
Honestly, I bet a lot of my regulars probably already know you because, like, I do the same thing sometimes. We do, like, the same stuff. The VTuber I watched most interviewing, the VTuber that got me into VTubing. Oh, wait, really? Aww.
We love to see that.
That's so cute.
This is the collab people have been waiting for all these years. Which is funny because I love cozy stuff. You have no idea.
I've been waiting for this collab for years. I've been watching you for years.
Well, I've been watching you for years.
No, I watched you first.
Well, okay, that might be true.
Probably.
Well, I've been watching you since your debut.
Oh. Which one? I think I debuted 3 times.
We're just gonna pretend that you only debuted once.
Oh,
because,
okay.
You know, we never re-debut ever.
No,
like,
never.
Never been any other debuts. It's always just been one.
Never. Impossible. Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't know what this show is, by the way, this is Memory Leak. It's kind of just like a hobby talk show. I bring people on and we talk about some nostalgic things, some things that we like, some things that are kind of just like brain worms to us recently. Like I think one of the episodes I talked for at least 30 minutes about Homestuck, so that's a thing.
Homestuck?
Yeah.
I can never escape Homestuck in the VTubing scene. Why?
Speaking of, it's coming back. It's coming back because one of the Holostar guys was talking about Homestuck the other day, and now I'm cool again. You guys can't say anything anymore. One of the Holostars guys is bringing it back.
No, that's even worse. No. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's. I thought respectfully, I thought Homestuck was going to die with the rest of Tumblr.
You know, Homestuck was greater than Tumblr, okay? It was larger than Tumblr. It expanded.
I mean, Tumblr didn't really give it justice. I will give it that.
Homestuck again. I'm sorry. I know, I bring up Homestuck like every single time we get on the show. It's just, it was a big part of my life, okay?
I'm trying to tweet that we're live. I always forget to do this every single time.
Oh, I should probably retweet. Yeah. Wait, quote, live now. Woo!
There we go. It takes a little
It's your
bit
birthday.
because
Happy
YouTube is
birthday.
weird. Happy birthday! Oh my gosh. You share the same birthday as my dog Moti.
Wait, is it your dog's birthday?
Yeah, it's her birthday. Here, I'll send you a photo of her cake.
Oh my god, you got your dog a cake? That's so cute. That's precious.
So apparently dogs can have cake, and if you go to like PetSmart, or like an animal store, because real places don't exist here in VTubing. If you go to like a pet store, you can get like a little doggy cake mix, and it's pretty much just a cake.
Oh my god!
Like you have eggs, what's it called? Water, oil. Apparently vegetable oil. You can give your dog vegetable oil.
Dogs can have vegetable oil, really? Huh?
Not vegetable oil. Sorry, corn oil.
Okay,
corn oil.
Okay.
Not vegetable, corn. And yeah, I baked her a little cake. It had frosting on it, and yeah,
Hold on.
It's her birthday. She turned 1 today.
I'm gonna show everybody this adorable dog cake. What the heck? I want to get my dogs a birthday cake next time. What the heck? It's so cute.
She did not eat all of that. She ate, I will say, she only ate a small corner. I did not let her eat the entire thing.
Okay, good. My dog would. My dog would be like, okay, well, I'm digging in. I'm not stopping until this is gone.
She wanted to so bad, but I was like, no, you were gonna get it upset because she's certainly 1,
Uh-huh.
Was it chocolate cake? What? How is it chocolate cake? I'm not dumb. I'm smooth brain. There's a difference.
Oh god. Yeah, please don't feed your dogs chocolate cake. Oh my god. Jesus.
For real. Mm-hmm.
Also,
Oh my
I will
God.
never embrace X. You can't make me. It's not happening.
I just say Twitter/X because let's be honest, the keywords for the YouTube algorithm gods will still recognize it as Twitter, because if you say X, what other stuff will the algorithm recognize that as?
If you put X in a video, I feel like it's immediately gonna demonetize it.
And that's why I still say Twitter.
Yeah.
It's always Twitter in my heart.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Mood. Exactly. You can't stop me, Elon. Even if you do seem to kind of push down my posts anytime I say the word Twitter in them, it's fine. It's fine.
Elon, thankfully he's not watching this stream, but I mean, imagine okay, hear me out. What if Elon actually watches VTubers?
I mean, Elon did want to make catgirls real, so
yeah, so
maybe he does.
Elon, if you're watching the stream, you could just let us know. Like maybe give a couple of memberships.
You are a cat girl, so I mean, I don't know. You could be.
I can see it happening. Oh my god.
All right, Mari. Let me ask you straight up, just in case, is there anything that you just wanted to talk about straight off the bat with anything nostalgic, any hobbies that you're into, stuff like that?
There's, it's kind of interesting because before we were planning this collab, I've been going down this very interesting rabbit hole on YouTube lately, and it has to do with the early 2000s internet. Like I was watching a video the other day that is kind of like a video essay about it's called Frutigo. Hold on, I can't think of the word. I'm gonna butcher it. It's Frutigo Arrow. The
Frutigo
2000s
Arrow.
visions of the future. And
What is that?
It's an entire internet aesthetic that I'm sure you probably are everyone has to know this. Like, there's no way, unless if you're 13, you have to know. You definitely have seen this. It's like those futuristic wallpaper, the desktop wallpapers that have like the glossy, like the tropical
Oh
fish that's on
God.
bottles.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, weird. That's a
Yeah,
whole thing? It has a
it's a.
name?
It has a name. Yes, it has a name, and it's Frutiger or Frutiger.
Frutiger? Frutiger?
I think so. It's hard for me to pronounce, but yeah, I went down a whole rabbit hole of that, and like I've just been watching just videos about the old internet because there's like so much that a lot of us just don't know. A lot of it's like lost media, and
Yeah.
that's why when you're like, oh, did you want to like do this little show with me today? I was like, yes, because this is like literally all the rabbit holes I'm going down right now.
So the funny thing is, when I was thinking about inviting you onto the show, the main thing that I was like, okay, well, we could probably bond over the fact that probably both of us were on like the old YouTube and other sort of things like that. I feel like we're very similar in things that we've seen on YouTube over time.
I had to explain to my chat the other day who Boxy was.
Oh no!
And
Wait, chat, do you know who Boxy is? Please tell me you know who Boxy is. Please.
she's the original OG VTuber, you guys.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, unless you mean the annoying orange, he's
Oh no.
my Oshi.
Oh my god. This is a good way to tell what your chat's ages are. Just ask them like old YouTube videos if they remember stuff, and then that's how you can kind of tell when they're old enough to access the internet.
Hey guys, did you used to watch the Yogs cast? I really liked that one show that they did with oh god, what was it? They had like some villain and they were going through like a plot and they went through different dimensions in Minecraft and stuff like that. Crazy. I remember Yogs cast, yeah.
It's oh god. I don't know why I refreshed my YouTube history because I was like, I was gonna pull up some videos, and sometimes I swear my computer is listening to me. It just
Oh no.
shows me what's it called? The Mystery of Abandoned Aesthetics, and it has like a video thumbnail of liminal space.
Oh
It
my
has
god.
what's it called?
Oh, did you used to? I used to really love looking for different single serving sites back in like old internet days. Like there's one website that was just called like sometimes red sometimes blue.com, and it literally just was sometimes red and then other times was blue, or just silly little single serving, like they only do one thing and that's the entire website's purpose.
Yes. So I think I vaguely remember what that website is. Most of the single serving websites that my friend showed me were not safer.
Yes,
So
understandable. Oh, there was
yeah.
also the You Are an Idiot site that was also like a virus or something.
Yes, actually, I watched a video about that one because that's like the whole
I think I
pop-up
watched
ads
that video.
era. Mhm.
I saw a
You
video
know,
about it recently.
there was one website I used to go on all the time. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was when Britney Spears was really popular, like really, really popular. And someone made a single serving website making fun of her where they took one of her songs. I'm pretty sure it was a website and it was not a YouTube video. And they were making fun of one of her songs, and it was like a whole parody where they were talking about Taco Bell. And all I can remember is like the Taco Bell dog when that used to be a thing. Like pretending to like be Britney Spears or something like that, and was just making like jokes about how Taco Bell messes up your stomach and stuff. But it was a parody of her song.
All right, but what about the Quiznos thing? I don't even know what to call that thing. Hold on. Quiznos mascot. You have to see this thing. The Spong Monkeys. A pair of potato-shaped human-toothed rodent-ish creatures.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Spong monkeys, of course. Oh, did you just look them up? Yeah, I was just gonna send you a picture.
I'm pretty sure I saw something like this in a nightmare once. What the heck is that?
Hold on, I gotta show you guys. Yeah, the Quiznos things. They were like a big meme for a while. I have no idea what the hell Quiznos was thinking.
Don't look it up, chat.
When they made these. But they sure made these. They were on real advertisements that were on TV in the States.
And then people wonder why we like grew up with like messed up humors and like personalities. This is the kind of stuff we grew up watching for entertainment. Actually, you know what I saw on Twitter the other day?
Oh.
I was looking at 90s like toys that people like game board like board games.
Yeah.
And one of them, I think it was called Perfection. Hold on, let me just make sure that's what it's called. Perfection board game.
Don't look it up. You want to sleep at night. Exactly.
It's Hasbro Perfection. And the whole idea about this board game is that you have all these little tiny shapes. And you have to put all the shapes back within 60 seconds.
Oh.
And if you don't, it will like pop up and like all the pieces
I
fall off
had
and you have
that!
to do it
I
again.
had that thing! Yeah!
A lot of people wonder why, you know, kids who grew up in the 90s have so much like anxiety and depression and like, you know, these are the types of games that they played for fun.
True.
For fun, chat. For fun.
There was a bunch of, I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. At the time, there was like so many games that they created that were like, you have to solve this math problem or else zombies will eat your brains or stuff like that.
Oh my god, or the jump scares? Do you remember like when you had to do this little Mario puzzle or like you had to take the dot and you'd have to like move it all the way to the end?
Yeah.
And then right at the end it has a jump scare?
Yeah.
And then people wonder why we have anxiety.
Even Neopets did that. Freaking Neopets had like a screamer that would pop up sometimes. You would go and you would spin like these wheels. By the way, Neopets is just a gambling site. Just saying.
I remembered this.
You would spin like this wheel, and then every once in a while you get this prize to visit like the lair of the beast or something, and you would go onto a webpage, and it was just a blank webpage that had like a black square on it, and you heard this growling, and then suddenly like a pterodactyl popped out and screamed at you.
But you know what's crazy? Because a lot of like 90s and like maybe early 2000s, because like a lot of like kids back that time grew up on the internet doing that, we're so like adapted to just start looking at things now.
Oh yeah,
trying to figure out the Easter eggs and stuff, because like that is like the whole single serving websites. You had to know somebody who knew that website to get to see that, and then things like that in Neopets, Easter eggs in general. Like I remember Gaia Online had like some Easter eggs with
who remembers
some of the mini games that you would do. You could unlock. I don't remember if it was like certain clothing items that you could only get if you knew this one like phrase. You did this one thing, and then I remember McDonald's at one point had Neopets, so you could like unlock codes and stuff.
Hot Topic has Neopets merch again, right now.
Oh my God.
Like literally right now.
Wow.
It's back. Yeah, there was entire plot lines on Neopets where you had to like go through and you had to click like very specific tiny little windows on a house on a little screen to get to a certain spot, and you would have to type in a very specific code that you would only know if you bought like 3 of this one item from a shop or something. Yeah. Wild.
I hated that about McDonald's, though. I would just straight up be like, I just want the toy. I don't want the food.
Yeah.
And my mom would be like, I don't
memories.
understand. Why do you want all the toys? I'm like, because, Mom, I need that special Neopets skin. You don't understand.
True.
I have to scam people now.
I got a toolbar. There was like a promotion at one point because for some reason, at some point, a lot of people were making like toolbars to have on your browser that did different stuff, and there was a Neopets toolbar that they made, and to advertise it, they were like, oh yeah, if you get this toolbar, then you get a special ice pet that you can only get through this and no other possible way.
Those toolbars were viruses. Don't trust them.
Oh yeah, all of them were pretty much viruses.
They straight up had, I think it was spyware?
Yeah,
where it just
spyware.
fills up. hmm You know what I did that was really bad? I used to
What?
play these social chatting games. So a lot of people probably know like Second Life or IMVU. I didn't play those.
Mm.
I played the most weirdest obscure one, and no, it's not Millsbury. I played something called Zwinky.
Zwinky?
Zwinky.
That's
That
a name.
social chat game was probably the most amount of spyware I have ever downloaded on my computer. It's straight up in the TOS. And maybe in Little You May, I didn't read that. I still don't read it now. It straight up said, when you download our game, you give us permission to potentially download other programs or necessary resource files on your computer to help make the game run better.
Yep.
And if you look up Zwinky and stuff, part of the biggest reasons why it failed was because of all the spyware and the bloating that was rumored around the program.
Yep.
But man, it was quite a time. I used to scam people on there. I would tell people I was really evil, so I would tell people oh, I have money on my account, but I can't access it. Could I transfer some of my money into your account and then have you transfer it back to me? And people would fall for it. I don't remember exactly what I said. People would fall for it and give me their account information. And then I would log into their account, steal all their money, all their gold.
No.
And then I would change their password and block them after.
And then everyone thinks that, oh my god, I got hacked. Oh no. It's like, what? You gave away all of your info. Yeah, Mario was the Nigerian prince. Yeah. So true.
But I'm a cute anime girl instead, so it's okay. It was an interesting program. I couldn't get into IMVU. That game just would crash my computer. I actually tried. I would try to play that game, and it would just crash my computer. And then I never heard of Second Life. I think I was too young for
I
that
heard
game.
of Second Life. I think the only game that I tried to play like that was there was this thing on Facebook. I think on Facebook, either Facebook or MySpace at one point. They basically just made The Sims, but they put it on one of those things, and then you could visit each other's house and you could post on your page to get. Yeah, I think it was Facebook. And you could post on your page to get more items, or you had to refer people so that you could get more stuff. There was so many of those games too. I also played Mafia.
Oh no.
Farmville.
I'm glad I never got into the mobile side of these things because I don't know, at that point, I was too busy on AIM or harassing people on MSN, I think. I would enter, okay, you guys gotta understand something. I really loved entering random chat rooms and scamming people.
Oh my god.
I didn't even, I probably did need the money, but that's not why I did it. I did it because I thought it was funny how stupid people were.
Okay, but it kind of was though. Okay, so I grew up with, my parents were already adapted to the internet. They were already gamers before I was born. They were already doing D&D campaigns. My dad had an entire ass suitcase of Magic the Gathering cards. They were already geeks. They met through role playing. So
oh my god.
So and also because they met through role playing, I had grammar and writing etiquette and stuff like that stapled into me from a young ass age. So I spoke like an 18, 20-year-old at 10. But anyway, so my parents were already geeks. So when they got me on the internet, it was kind of okay, well, make sure that you don't go to any of these weird websites. Make sure you don't tell anyone anything about you. Don't put your real name on anything. Don't talk about your age. Don't do, all this stuff was already being told to me because they already knew.
That's crazy. So I'm on the opposite end of that. So my mom, even to this day, she still doesn't understand what YouTube is.
Oh,
so
no.
when I first accessed the internet and we had, and I had to argue with my mom to get off the phone so I could go on the computer. I don't know how I learned to not share information about myself. Maybe it's because my mom like ingrained it into my head. If I told, like my mom would tell me if I went outside, I would get kidnapped, and that if I talked to anyone, I would get kidnapped. And she would tell me like just not to talk to people, nothing about the internet. And so I think maybe just naturally, I've always been kind of like defensive about my information, and so I always would find it fascinating when people would tell me so much about themselves on the internet. And I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I'm pretty sure I was talking to people I should not have been talking to, but I didn't care 'cause I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Because I always think it's so interesting how so many of them would just send you money for no reason.
Yep.
And like, it was always like, obviously for like games and stuff. Like when I was playing Club Penguin. Now that's the most sketchiest game you could ever play as a kid because. Like, it's Club Penguin, but people could send you money. And so, I did my scamming technique. I would tell people I was selling friendship. This was my service. I was selling friendship. And so, people would be like, oh, well, what do you get in the friendship service? And I was like, oh, I'll help you with your homework. We can, what was that on Club Penguin? We could hang out on the Ice Cap Mountain thing for like 30 minutes and talk about stuff. I was doing girlfriend experience at the age of like 10, okay? And I didn't even know that's what that was.
Oh God, but people were already into it at the time. That's so sad.
And people would buy my friendship packages. And you know what I would do? I would just take their money and block them!
God, you're just like Charlie. Freaking Charlie tells stories all about how he would like scam people on RuneScape and stuff like that.
Thankfully, I didn't. I tried to play RuneScape. I thought it was really boring. I thought the game was boring. But some people really like RuneScape. And even now, I tried to get into like World of Warcraft. I still thought that was boring. You know what MMO I played?
What?
It's embarrassing, but I liked Mabinogi.
Yeah, I loved Mabinogi. Honestly, though, Mabinogi had so many like cool things to it that no other MMO has ever done.
It did. It literally. I feel okay. The Mabinogi community is so small, so anyone who says they like Mabinogi, there's like, it's like a very special feeling. And I would play that. I would also play. It was called Grand Chase, which is like another.
No, yeah, I went on there.
Okay,
that was the pirate one, right?
Yeah, and they had like different girls that you could play as. And,
yeah. So I was a free-to-play MMO aficionado. Okay, I played like all of them. Mabinogi. No. Mabinogi.
Did you ever hear of a game called Fiesta?
No, I didn't hear that one.
That was like another free-to-play MMO, but that one, God, it's like, that one was kind of interesting. That was like another anime style one. And then there was like another one that was like all in Japanese. I cannot remember the name of it, but it had like really cool swords and like gunplay in it. But that one got kind of boring. A lot of these free-to-play ones are super grindy.
Yeah, no, they were. I was obsessed though. Okay, so I played, I played Toontown, obviously, because like everybody of that age played Toontown if they could get their parents to buy it for them. I actually got into Disney's beta testing for their weird Pirates of the Caribbean MMO that they were making for a while. That was interesting.
I have not heard of this.
Yeah, Disney did a Pirates of the Caribbean one. Oh, let me see. Oh, does it still exist?
It still exists, yeah. A lot of these, like, I don't know. I was really into these anime, like, 3D MMO stuff. Like, before Final Fantasy was a thing. And then my friends tried to get me to play Final Fantasy, like, and then I said no. I said, this game is stupid. And they were like, well, yeah, of course it's stupid, Mari, but come on, come play this. I said no. And then they deleted it. And then they released the new Final Fantasy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid because I played that like crazy. And if you had played the original, the really failed
you get like special things. You get like the tattoo on your back and stuff. Yeah.
My friends tried so hard to get me to play, and I was like, no, it's stupid. And And I was right. It was stupid, but
And now
one
it's
of those
good.
things- I know. I miss opportunity.
Yeah.
Mabinogi is still up too. It's just
Mabinogi is still up. They kept teasing doing like Mabinogi 2 for a little while, and then they just stopped, and now it's just like anyone who still likes Mabinogi is still on it or still like visits it, but it's just, it's so old and you can feel the age, and God, it needs some work. But man, it has so many like cool concepts that no other MMO ever did. Like I played the
fighting system.
Oh yeah, the fighting system was amazing. But I also played the heck out of the stupid, like, basically a little mini game where you go to a town and you pick up a crate of goods and then you, like, walk it to another town.
Yeah!
You do, like, this trading thing. I had this follower, this, like, thing that I bought that was basically, like, a little kid that would follow me around and help me fight when bandits attacked my cargo.
Oh my god. I got a gargoyle. I think it was a gargoyle. It was some kind of mount. I had to like pay money for it. I remember. Oh my gosh. It was
the devs did do Maple Story. Nexon. Okay, so Nexon had. I played a lot of Nexon games. I played Dragon Nest was good. Mabinogi was good. Maple Story. There was one that was like a weird dungeon crawler one that I can't really remember the name of. That looked a little bit more realistic.
What classes did you like to play? Because like in Mabinogi, they had like interesting names for a lot of them.
I mostly just played around with swords in Mabinogi, I think.
You want to know what class I always play in MMOs?
What?
I'm always a healer.
Okay. Are you a healer because you have all the power?
Why, you know me so well. And you want to know what gets me to heal people? If you give me money.
Oh my god! It all comes around. It all comes together.
Even like when I don't play MMOs anymore because I don't have the time for it and I don't want to spend the money anymore. I spent so much money in Final Fantasy. I don't want to talk about it, but I think for a little bit, yeah, I'm always the healer. And for Final Fantasy, I did play Samurai for a little bit in like Black Mage. But most of the time, I just kind of focused on healing.
I can't do healing.
No one wants to play it.
I'm a tank in Final Fantasy. I would just be like either sort of like a barbarian, like beat 'em up kind of class, or I would be a rogue. But sometimes there was actually a couple of games that I played the magic classes. There was a game called Fly for Fun, which I played the hell out of, which is like the first time that I made a guild and everything like that. I actually still talk to some of the people that I played Flife with like 20 years later. But yeah, no, I played Flife. There was Rose Online was one, Ragnarok.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
RuneScape, I
Did you ever get a
tried. I
house?
didn't really get into it. No, I didn't get houses in like anything until like Final Fantasy 14, like 3 years ago, and then I lost my house in the war.
Yeah. Yeah, getting stuff like that's really hard. Yeah. Especially like when you're really young and it's like you have to like okay, one thing that I will say about MMOs is that, you know, at least like when I used to play them, it's a really great way to like make friends. Although some people nowadays, I think we're also like, if you didn't already start playing the game with some friends, it's so hard to make it now. But I feel like back then it wasn't as difficult to make friends.
Nah, you know what I used to do? I would get to the point where I felt like I was decently high level when I was in like, you know, 20 to 50 range, depending on the MMO. And then I would go back to the newbie areas and I would just like kind of stand around. People talked to each other so much more.
You were one of those. You was wearing the fancy clothing and stuff and you just sit there just talking.
And I would give people like 20K or something just for the hell of it because... And then I would be watching people basically. And because my parents like taught me proper grammar and stuff like that, I was kind of an elitist prick. So I would wait until I saw someone speak with like proper grammar and capitalization and stuff, and then I would go talk to them specifically. And I'd be like, hey, you wanna hang out?
You want to know what I would
Me as
do?
a 10-year-old.
I would look to see who didn't have the proper grammar and like struggled, and then I would scam them.
Yeah, that was pretty telling too. It's true.
And the thing is, these people would be the same age as me, sometimes older, and that's when it's funnier.
Yeah. I hung out with so many people that were way older than me when I was like 10 because they had no clue.
I'm sure some of them had some indication. There's like no way.
Some of them had to have known, but like a lot of them thought that I actually was like 18 and I was like a 10 to 13-year-old.
That makes sense. Especially since like some adults don't even talk that properly.
Yeah, most.
I
Oh my
would
god.
purposely use emojis when I would talk. Like, you know, I always have emoticons and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, but all of the kids then were also using Leet Speak all the time.
That's true.
Why
That makes
did
a
we
lot
think
of
that
sense.
was cool, by the way? Why did anyone go, hey, Leet Speak? Now that's a cool kid thing.
I don't know. I don't even. I wasn't like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know why that thing, but it just was.
Uh-huh.
Although sometimes I kind of do some stuff like that even now. Sometimes I do that stuff even now. Because here's the thing. A lot of people never understand my emotions, and sometimes on the internet it's really hard to read tone. What is the best way to tell someone your emotion? Through text. You have like emocons, or you do like the Leaf Speak, or now we have like emotes.
Yeah.
And emojis.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, I was also so elitist at one point that when like emojis started becoming a thing instead of like text emoticons, I was one of those people who like refused to use them.
Same. I thought emotes were cringe. I was like,
same.
ew, what's this goofy looking thing? I was like, what is this like? Okay, I still think emojis are cringe.
Yeah, I still think they're pretty
But
cringe.
I have to use them because that's just how everyone, like, unfortunately, I think emojis are cringe. But a lot of other people who are the same age as me thinks that the emote icons are cringe.
Really?
So,
Wait, they do?
Yeah. If they're not into anime, they think it's cringe.
I guess that's fair. I guess that's understandable. I mean, I would do the simple ones too, though, like just :D or something.
Are you okay? So are you the okay? How do you feel about the people who do :3 and then add a C at the end? Because I can tell someone's age based off of the emote icons that they use. Basically, if you're not using :3, but you use :3C, I can tell you're like 21.
Yeah, I developed an absolute hatred for anyone who used the :3C thing because this one just total fucking asshole teen was just like smug asshole constantly was using it because it was like, what do you mean that I'm being annoying? I don't know what you're talking about, :3C.
Like, what is this supposed to even look like? What kind of face is this supposed to make?
So it's supposed to be like a cat face, right? But with like one hand up to your chin, like,
What?
Yeah,
No, it doesn't.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. I had to ask too because I didn't get it at first either. Because I was like, "What the fuck is that? Is that like a guy with a really long curly mustache looking sad?"
I'm gonna be honest. I thought people were trying to make like a fat chin.
No, it's supposed to be a hand. It's supposed to be like because there was. Oh, okay. Actually, I think there was like this one cat that was really popular at the time. That was like a white cat that had like the emoticon faces all over it. It always did that thing where it put the paw up to the chin. And it was supposed to be like a smug looking cat picture.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Were you the kind of person that would do colon and then parentheses for a smiley face? Or were you the kind of person that would do the parentheses and then the colon for the smiley face?
Neither. I did colon bracket.
Oh, you did those! Okay! That's right, there's a third option.
There was a third option. That was for the people who thought they were too good to do colon parentheses.
And let me guess,
or
you also
equal
had
signs
like
parentheses. That was also another one. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyone who did equal signs parentheses, I thought was like a boomer. I'm
Yeah,
not
so
gonna
did I.
lie.
So did I. Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna let you all know right now, anyone
That's the
who
one,
does
Otaka. That's the one.
parentheses, anyone who does parentheses and then colon is like
Insane.
a sociopath.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely insane.
And this is an unspoken rule that you all need to understand. Like, this was an unspoken rule.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, this is what I love about old internet. Anyone who grew up on old internet knows all of these spoken rules. I did not learn these on a YouTube video, although like they're probably no one's really making videos like that. But still, it's just interesting how
Time to
like
make a
Kozii
video
and I,
about
there's
that.
no way we've met before. Maybe we have, but
Maybe
like
we have.
how do we know the same internet rules? That's what's crazy.
The internet was just like, I don't know, it had so much more structure, it felt like. Like, if you were on the internet, you spoke a really specific way, and you knew, like, anyone who was speaking in a different way was, like, not from around there.
You could tell they're either foreign or they were like, something was very weird going on. Like, usually, like, I don't know, they're probably some telemarketer that's trying to get into the scene to understand us.
Oh my
kind of
God.
thing.
The people who were trying to do ads at the time that had no idea what the hell the internet actually was were so funny.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, some of the like, oh my gosh, some of the pop-up ads that would show up was like, oh my gosh. You know that style's coming back now on YouTube? Like some thumbnails
Pop-ups?
straight up. Like, do you remember how they would look with the white with the red text that's all like terrible fonts and stuff, and it's like an old guy with a wow face? Like, I've noticed this kind of like
Are they
graphic
happening
designs
again?
coming back.
Oh God.
I've been seeing it.
Okay,
it.
people
It's
just
like,
really like retro stuff right now, though. That's probably what it is.
Mhm.
People are
A
getting
lot of
so
vaporwave.
nostalgic. Yeah. Also, Point Blank said ASL. Dude, I was so confused when the Zoomers picked up ASL and made it as hell.
wait, that's the new way to.
Yeah,
Zoomers are really,
yeah.
really.
They made it into like basically like as hell because it was like as L and it's just like it you know blends into it. But ASL was age, sex, location back then. So now I'm sitting here like, what? What are you
That's
doing?
why they can't read. That's why they can't read, and they take everything out of context on Twitter now. It all makes sense.
Yeah, it's all
now.
different. They've rebranded all of it. Oh my God, there's the OMFG thing, where or not OMG. Which is it? Oh fuck, shit. Which one was
Oh,
it?
I just blemmed. I'm sorry. I was blemming.
There's oh my God, I can't remember which one. They're one of the short form things. They confuse as being like you cussing at someone. As no, I don't think it's ASF.
It's not. Oh my effing God.
Heck. Which one was it? Oh God, internet.
We have to Google it, chat. We're old. We're so old. We're actually not that old, and that's kind of what's scary about this. Like, Zoomers are like not that much younger than all of us. Okay, so like it's just a couple of years. So if you think about
It's not FML. It's not TBH. It was one that was just completely normal. It's one that I use all the freaking time too. I can't remember which one it is. Oh God, there's too many of them. It's not Raffle. Oh my God, Rafflecopter. Man, I'm too boomer. There's too many things.
what was it? What was?
It's not as far as I know, though that one was also kind of
There's actually some
altered.
interesting. I actually don't know, even though people have said it to me, have told me what it means numerous times. I just can't remember. Even when I was younger and I was trying to figure out what like ASL meant and stuff, like I always felt like I kind of knew, but I didn't really. It took me so long to really understand what all of these words meant because, like, to me, I don't know. I'm kind of dumb, chat. Like, I forget easy.
IMHO. God, there's so many of them that I can't even remember what. I literally use it all the time. It's not TBH. It's, heck, whatever. It's fine. Anyways, so yeah, a couple of them have changed in terminology so that, like, they think that you're rude if you're using them. So you use one that's normal.
Spamming different types.
No, it's not. It wasn't one that was rude. It was just one that was completely normal. And then they basically changed.
I know what you're talking about. I
one
just
of the
can't remember
terms
it, 'cause
into
I remember
fuck.
this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it wasn't
Is it
ever
like-
supposed to be fuck. It was
Is
supposed
it-
to be just like normal.
Is it like were they thinking it was I fucking guess? Or something like that?
Something like that. No, it's not TBF, but that's close. It was along the same lines. Man, I'm never gonna remember it. My brain is too
It'll just come
scattered.
later on in the stream, just unprovoked.
Snafu. This is quite the
What is
mystery,
that?
right? I've tweeted about it before. I've made a tweet about it before. I have no idea what it is anymore. Just tweet it later. I'll watch me go back through my tweets from this last year and find it. Whatever. Anyway, did you get to watch all of the animatics, by the way? Animatics were so much more common.
I watched a couple of them. It was like some of them were weird. Some of them were weird.
Yeah. I mean, there was things like salad fingers.
Yeah, that's the one I was referring to.
Happy Tree Friends and
Okay, well, to be fair, Happy Tree Friends is a beautiful children's educational show where they teach you about friendship and
Isn't Happy Tree Friends back too? God, we really were fucked up at that time, weren't we?
that time we're still like that now.
Yeah, okay.
Now we're VTubers.
Kind of. Because if we try and post some of the same stuff as back then, people are like, why would you post this? You shouldn't be posting this. People don't want to look at this. This is gore or something. Which,
People
I mean,
wanna
makes sense, but...
I mean, listen.
Homestar running, yeah. Newgrounds in general.
Oh, God.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
Yeah. It make you... Yeah, no, that,
I loved Weeble and Bob.
I think my favorite time was the ARGs. Like, Marble Hornets was probably one of my favorite times on the internet because that was like before, you know, Leafy and all those people had to exist. It was right before then. And that was like my favorite time on YouTube where people would just make these really like mystery style like,
Lonely Girl
series.
13. Yeah. I really actually kind of miss Lonely Girl 13 because I feel like now if that was attempted like in this current age of YouTube, people would be into it. They'd be so down.
I mean, a VTuber tried doing it and look what happened.
Wait, really? They did?
Well, hold on. I don't know how much I can say on like because you're in an agency, but
Oh,
let's
you're
just say
good.
another agency VTuber was pretending that she was kidnapped. And
Oh,
it
the
turned out to be
Chinese
false.
agency, right?
Yeah.
I do remember that.
So
Yeah.
how does that differ than like the ARG of the girl vlogging being stalked by someone? Like if you really think about that, there's like another VTuber who does ARG content. They're not as popular. They're like a mute. They don't talk, but they do make ARG style content. They're like one of the OGs actually.
Huh.
And yeah, their stuff is like all subliminal messaging, and I find it very fascinating how we just don't have more ARG style content. Like people try to make it, but it's too corny. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of them don't.
Yeah, I really want to make
good.
stuff like that, but I always sit there and I'm like, I have no idea how I could possibly make that happen. There was one girl, actually, there was a Japanese VTuber who pretty much did these videos that were only like 1 minute to 3 minutes long that were just like a little girl VTuber that was in a nicely shaded 3D environment, like kicking leaves or something with really soft spoken words that you had to like put on headphones to try and hear. Very interesting. It always looked like it was almost a horror scene, but not quite. And then they just kind of disappeared eventually. It was crazy.
I don't know if I've seen this.
My friend Lumen used to really like that one. I forget what that channel's name is called, but that was a Japanese channel, so it's kind of hard to search in English.
Maybe it's the same channel we're thinking of.
Could be.
And the thing is, here's the kind of the problem that I have noticed about VTubing now, is that trying to do content like that now would be seen as like really cringe and weird.
Yeah.
And like, it's only been a couple of years with VTubing, and in terms of like mainstream VTubing, so trying to create like really unique content like that, it just doesn't do well, because you see like that kind of content, right? And then you see people trying to cancel each other in roleplay, and it's like, okay, but where do we draw the line between like,
oh god,
how corny things are versus like actual art and interesting, like,
the person that had
content?
like the bat trying to talk shit about someone on Twitter.
You know what? That's my Oshi, okay? I don't know.
Man. Yeah, no, it's hard. I mean, Vox is trying to do it a little bit, at
I
least.
will say,
Vox
I
is
love
doing
what
pretty
he's
well.
doing.
Yeah. He has like this whole thing that's going on with him right now, guys, where like he's doing kind of plot stuff. He put out a whole film, like a short film, which is also kind of an animatic. It's not like an actually fully animated thing, but it's like 40-50 minutes long. And then after he put that out, he started doing these things with his streams where he would change his eye color depending on if he was going to do just like soft, normal, average content stuff, or if he was going to do something that was kind of like a plot point.
That's my Oshi. I love brainwashing my audience with subliminal messaging. I love that so much. I really do. I love that so much. I'm
Well, it's also for
understand.
people's sake, because like his fans started spreading it to each other. So like when people were like, I miss
like
his
a
old
virus, I love
content.
it.
Oh yeah. But people were like, oh, I miss his old content. I don't really want to do this plot stuff. Like I came here to have like relax and not really think about this weird kind of stuff, and he's kind of ruining it. It was sort of like, okay, well, if you go into the stream and his eyes are this color, then you don't have to worry about it.
Chat's just like, is Mario okay? I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I don't watch Vox. I've only watched one clip of him, and then that movie. So
I don't watch Vox either. I just follow someone on Twitter who's very dedicated.
What's it called? One of my friends, Evan, asked me why I don't watch Vox, because I do a little podcast with him and another VTuber named Mr. Underhill. I told them it's because his voice is too attractive, and that scares me. So I was like, I'm afraid of attractive men.
He's got the corpse husband problem.
Yeah. So I said, that's why I choose not to watch him, because I can't, it's not fair for me to like have a favorite VTuber that I want to watch. Like, I want to be neutral and like all VTubers, so I choose not to watch certain creators because I know I will become a diehard fan, and I can't allow that to happen.
Sure. Of course. Bottom?
I have one. You want to see it? I can show you it. Oh, here, let me. No, I'm just kidding. Kozie's like, please, Mari, no, stop.
Nah, trust
That's
me,
for
that
the
wouldn't be the
memberships
worst that
only
they've seen. They've seen worse.
You know? Hey, wait, hold on.
I've done worse to them. My channel trailer, I realized after it was created that the whole thing is kind of just a bunch of fetish bait, and I didn't even think about it.
Wait, your channel?
Yeah, you should watch my channel trailer sometime and just like pay attention to like the types of fetishes that are there's feet in there, there's an ahegao face, there's some sort of like thing with the welcome home honey sort of thing. There's there's booba. Yeah,
Wait.
see, point blank agrees. I pointed it out. I was like watching it. I watched it probably like 20 times while I was trying to like set it up and get it running on my channel and stuff like that. And then I slowly started to realize as soon as I posted it on TikTok, oh wait.
Really?
That's horny. Oh, that's also horny. Oh wait, that's also horny.
Wow.
The first thing I say in it is
head because like,
I'm a professional stroker. I
Oh my
talk
God,
about
wow.
getting squirted or something. Or no, I said I just squirted or something in it.
You have a video that's called
realize.
Huge Heckin' Honky Tonky.
That makes
And
sense.
I'm gonna be honest, this thumbnail is like, I love it.
I was really proud of that thumbnail.
I really like the and
It's the one with the melons,
interesting.
right?
It must be because I'm short. A lot of those like innuendos must have gone over my head because I just didn't think about that. Okay,
I
and here's the
didn't either,
thing, chat.
though.
You gotta understand, all right? Anyways, so like, you know, about that animation, it was really good. And I think, you know, I want more VTubers to do stuff like that because like it reminds me of just, you know, old internet things. And it'd just be really cool to see people trying to branch out and like do some nostalgic things. Although I feel like what's it called? I've tried to incorporate some really old like internet jokes into my videos, and one of them is the bliss wallpaper. You know, the default like scenery with the blue skies.
Yep.
And I got roasted in the comments for like having that as my background. They're like, Mari, your video was really cool, but like, you know, it was so boring to watch. Like, you know, that background, like nothing was going on. Nothing was really moving except your model. Like maybe, you know.
Oh, just try it again, except stick one of the pyramid runners things in the corner. That'll work.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. And I was just like, but the bliss background, like it's the bliss.
It's just the zoomers. Don't worry about it. Just stick like a mobile game on the corner. It's okay.
But I'm a zoomer too, though.
Well,
Like, it's really unfortunate that I am in this weird cusp of like zoomers and like hold on, there's zoomers, millennials,
Well,
and
yeah.
then there's like generation iPhone, and then there's like the boomers. I understand all of these like cultural things for
I do
everyone.
too. Yeah, it's weird.
And so it's like
Generation dirt.
weird. Yeah, it's really, really, really weird to just know all of this stuff, and yet I don't understand why like so many zoomers can't seem to can't seem to focus on anything until the other day. I was reading something about how the type of content that zoomers are growing up, and not even just zoomers actually, it's actually generation alpha. Zoomers are growing up with Mr. Beast. And so because they grew up with Mr. Beast in this fast-paced type of like sensationalized content, zoomers have quote unquote low attention spans because they're used to just instant gratification, whereas Gen Alpha is being overstimulated.
Yeah.
So all these things popping up on screens because now zoomers are making content. Zoomers who grew up watching Mr. Beast with all this instant gratification are trying to come up with these instant gratification things, which results into multiple things on the screen, the Maxinor kind of stuff, but worse.
Yeah, or like they change camera angles every 5 seconds and they go really formulaic with it and stuff. Yeah.
And that's teaching the Gen Alpha not to know what to look at. So they're looking at everything on the screen. And there's like a lot of studies that have been shown about how like looking at eye patterns and stuff. And Gen Alpha, they literally are looking at everything at the screen. They cannot focus. And so what do doctors and stuff say? They say, oh, they must have ADHD. That is not how ADHD works, okay?
Yeah.
Like that, and that's
Also, you're not getting
so
an entire generation that has ADHD. That's not how that works.
Literally. And like, it's interesting because ADHD is not just an attention span thing, it's an actual cognitive disability. But like, still, it's interesting how it's just really interesting how the type of content that we're making right now influences people who are younger than us, and we can either make them smarter or stupider.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating.
It's kind of, I mean, it's also just like the eras of like content that we're living through that are affecting things. Like millennials have an issue where we're constantly kind of anxious and feeling like we need to progress faster and faster. And that's partially just because we lived through basically the entire inception and growth of computer technology. So like, I still remember being 10 and using a landline phone that I like dialed the numbers on that was on my wall in my kitchen. Or like,
yeah, I was really young when that
I used floppy disks and I used cassette tapes and all of that stuff. And it feels like that should have been more like 50, 70 years ago, but it was only really 20.
Oh, so you're a little bit older than me, because I was gonna say I knew what they were because of my siblings, but I was in I still had VHS, but I was more like the CD players.
Yeah. So like I feel like from CDs onwards things slowed down a little bit more, but that sort of era from like I still remember having
the CDs was fast. It was
that was really fast. Yeah. Not only was that really fast, but also floppy disks to CDs was kind of fast too. But I still remember having a PC that like didn't have graphics on it. Like the only that you turned it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You turned it on and it was just a black screen of text, and then you would have to use different codes to get to different things on your PC, and that was how technology worked at the time. And that's partially
so
because
cool.
my parents were geeks, so like I experienced all of that like first hand because they went out of their way to find it and to teach me about it and stuff like that. But because I experienced all of that stuff, it was kind of like everything like one after another, everything just expanded and became so much more technically advanced that it just instills so much anxiety.
The only reason why I know all that stuff is because of my siblings, because they're like 8 years older than I am. So they, experience all of that, and because they had it, I got to see it.
Yeah.
And they would never let me touch it. I was like, oh, can I like play with this? Like, no, you're gonna break it. I'm like, no, I won't. And then I break it, and then I don't know, maybe they should let me touch it with supervision, and I wouldn't have tried to like sneak it. So whose fault is that?
True. But not wrong. My parents let me touch stuff. They
let you experiment. That's crazy. I had to steal and lie to people.
I was on the internet when I was 8.
And that is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
It's interesting how a lot of us grew up on the internet, and what's it called? Boomers grew up not being able to share their feelings or talk about things that made them uncomfortable. So they raised their kids to shut down their emotions, tell them they're not worth it. They're not worth anything and they need to do better. So now that generation grows up having to constantly be productive and prove themselves. And then because they're so busy, and then being on the internet and overworked, how do they raise their kids? They don't want to deal with them. So guess what? They give them the iPad because those people are so busy trying to be productive because their parents, who aren't allowed to have any emotions, told them like they need to do better. And now you have a generation who grew up on iPads that now don't know how to live life and don't understand reality. And so how are they raising their children? Very fascinating stuff.
Yeah,
if you
it's
think about
really
it.
interesting to see how different generations raised different people. Also, we didn't skip Gen X. Gen X was in there.
No, everyone skips Gen X. Gen X doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's the joke. That's the joke about Gen X.
True.
Is that
It's true.
everyone forgets Gen X. Isn't Gen X like only like a couple of years too? Like, isn't it like a very small time frame?
Yeah. I mean, I think my parents are close to that generation. It's a weird generation because it's kind of like the people in that generation knew about tech and like had started getting into it because they could see the potential in it. So they were kind of the generation that started the early adopters of a lot of tech
They're like
stuff.
the guinea pigs, basically.
Yeah, but they were also really sad because they were a part of like they came after like the boomer generation where everyone was constantly just like, no, you have to like shut up, you can't talk about this, like you have to be part of this group and you have to progress further, and yeah.
But it's really interesting. And like, you know, we're talking about like a lot of nostalgia, right? Because the things that like make us nostalgic, something that I've realized, what so many people, does not matter your age, when it comes to nostalgia, people feel very fondly towards a time where they at least they felt like they were able to be more expressive, where they could be themselves, talk about how they feel before, you know, people around us told us to shut up and like all that stuff. And it's interesting because like, what's it called?
Yeah, but now we've gotten to a point. Oh, we've gotten to a point where people talk too much now. I'm just gonna say. But sorry, continue.
No, you're right. You're right, because like millennials can't talk about their feelings, right? So, what's it called? Millennials, and then what do we?
Zoomers. Yeah, Zoomers came
It's
after.
Zoomers, right?
Yeah, and then Alpha.
So, if millennials can't talk about their feelings, and so Zoomers were raised to, what's it called? Zoomers were just raised to be alone. Because millennials are so busy trying to be progressive, not talking about their feelings, not knowing how to deal with stress. So Zoomers are made to feel alone.
Yeah.
And now we have Gen Alpha, who, as you said, just overshares everything because Gen Z or no, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting all this confused. It's so much.
Right. I think, yeah. Zoomers are having kids now. Yeah.
They are. And it's interesting to see, I've been watching TikToks of Zoomers begging people to stop giving children technology at such a young age. Zoomers themselves are saying this because they said, listen, I grew up on technology because my parents were too busy trying to be progressive, and I grew up alone. I can't focus. I'm depressed. I feel like I have no friends. Please stop giving your children technology at such a young. And I was like, Zoomers are the ones speaking out, not millennials. Because millennials are like we're raising your future kids and you better respect us and stuff. And Zoomers like, please stop giving us technology at such a young age. Let us be children. And I'm like, this is a Zoomer talking? What?
It depends on which branch of millennials you're looking at. Because there's like two different sides of the millennial generation. There was either...
There is!
Yeah.
There is, yeah.
There's either the millennials who are like super uppity and like we're always fighting for progress and always fighting against all the people who are like, oh, you're just getting participation awards and all that stuff and trying to prove themselves and improve and constantly push forward. And then there's the millennials who just kind of failed and got burnt out from it all because they were like, I can't keep this up. I can't be this gifted child and keep trying to progress like this. Yeah.
I've been watching videos about productivity and how it's like actually a really toxic way to live your life. And it's interesting because at one point in the video, this person was talking about, why do we need to be so progressive about everything? Like, sure, progress is nice and stuff, but like, are you actually enjoying life when you constantly have to accomplish something? Like, what? Like, who are you accomplishing this stuff for? Are you accomplishing this stuff because you genuinely want to? Or are you accomplishing this stuff because you were always told you need to? And I was like, wow. That's so fascinating because, you know, what are we doing now, right? When we see like VTubing, for example, and I see people on Twitter constantly talking about how they wish they were better, they wish they were growing, and part of me just thinks to myself like, okay, I think growth is nice, but at the same time, why do you want to grow? Is it because you genuinely want to become like the next big thing? Is that what you truly want? Or is it because everyone around you is always talking about it's important to grow, it's important to grow? What kind of videos were you watching on YouTube that's meant to help you like grow? It's all these gurus saying you need to grow, you need to expand, and this and that. And I'm like, very interesting.
Yep. And it's always talking about numbers, and it's always talking about analytics, and it's always talking about like the best way to advertise and the best way to catch attention. And don't forget to do your clickbait and put the red arrow in your thumbnail and all of that stuff.
I'm so guilty of that.
It's okay, I've done it too. Only a couple times, but still. It works though. That's the problem. People see this stuff and they test it and it works and they're like, oh my god, well, I'm gonna keep doing this now. And
but what audience does it work for?
Yeah, Zoomers mostly, and then all of the Gen Alpha kids.
They're young. And what attracts younger generations? Bright, shiny colors.
True. Green arrow. Let's bring back the green arrow instead.
Oh my god.
I really do kind of miss, though. It feels like a lot of society has gotten to a really weird point because of the internet, where like everyone is constantly pushing for growth and progression and money and like the best way to do something. So people have kind of stopped just like creating random things for fun. Like there's no more of those single serving sites that we were talking about. There's no sites that exist anymore that are like Neopets or anything, like those time wasters sort of sites where you just go on and you just hang out for a while.
It's hard because now our time wasters are stream highlights, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just that's the new time wasters. It's wasting time with a particular creator. That's kind of where we've gone to, because here's the thing. What did we want when we were kids? We wanted attention, right? So we would go on like these chat rooms and stuff. What do the young kids want now? It's still attention. But instead of chat rooms, it's a stream.
Yeah.
Videos, you right now, chat.
Yep.
It's just interesting. And you can tell when it's a young creator because they care more about the numbers and like attention. And then you can tell when they're older creators because they care about the money. And I find that very fascinating because the younger the younger creators haven't learned how hard life is when you don't have money. And that's how you can kind of see the shift between their content.
There's the creators that are kind of like in between who saw like all of the early YouTube stuff where like YouTube wasn't monetized and it was like taboo to monetize anything on YouTube and everyone would call you a shill.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, YouTube didn't used to be like this. Twitch didn't used to be like this.
Site.
Oh yeah, for sure. YouTube was a role-playing site. My friend used to role-play on YouTube.
And you could like, it wasn't like a swipe system, but it was like a like system, right? You could like women and stuff. It was so interesting.
Yep.
I watched a YouTube video about it because I actually didn't know that about YouTube, because I went on YouTube pretty much.
I went on since around the beginning, around 06-ish or so, I think.
I think my earliest YouTube memory was probably a Smosh video. I think that's when I was on YouTube. It was, so it was kind of...
Oh, you mean the Pokemon one?
Banners. Yeah, I used to,
With them lip-syncing Pokemon, the first viral thing.
That's like the first time I was on YouTube because a friend showed me and I was like, wow, this is cool.
Oh, Nigahiga. I miss him. And then also you know what though? One of the people who contributed to all of the like Zoomer quick content react sort of stuff was Ray William Johnson. For sure.
Oh my god, yeah, you know.
He made it before it was a thing.
Yeah, you're right. It's so interesting too because like,
equals 3, yup.
It's very fascinating. I think one of my favorite YouTube videos was probably I think he goes by the name Make Me Bad 35, I think that was his name. He made a video about this stupid giraffe that could grant wishes, and I remember him like asking for a Big Mac. Hold on, let me see. I think maybe it was Make Me. Yeah, it's Make Me Bad 35, and this guy had a video where he had a stupid giraffe. It was called oh my god. It's called My Magical Giraffe. I hate this video is so stupid, but I loved this. I loved this stupid video.
Giraffe?
This stupid video where he has to like stroke the giraffe's neck and it would grant him wishes. And all he wanted was a Big Mac.
Here, I'll post this for you guys. You can look at it. Nah, man, the old videos that I watched so much of were like, do you ever hear?
This is what I was raised by.
You ever hear about Syriac videos, like cows?
Yes.
I loved those freaking things. They were weird as hell. 13 years ago, cows was created.
I think that kind of content is like prehistoric brain rot in a way, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's because like it's not bad. I do remember these, but I think that's like really early days of brain rot content.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's so good. It's so well done.
Yeah. Well, people didn't do that like high quality editing at that point yet either. Like people weren't really doing all of that warped sort of stuff.
This was way before its time.
Yeah. He got really popular. He was on freaking Adult Swim. They made him do some of the in-between ads for Adult Swim.
This is what it's like to have ADHD. So this video, this is what it's like to have ADHD.
No. You want something that's what it's like to have ADHD. You have to look at the Meow Mix one. That's the one.
No. Yeah, oh my god, this one. Oh my god. Yeah.
Meow Mix. What are the host's thoughts on YouTube poops and their influence on society? The early TikToks, the early Vines. Pretty much.
You're so right. I hate that like this is how my brain works. I hate it. I hate it so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I said, it's interesting to grow up watching that kind of content, and I guess like now I'm an anime girl, and it's just so weird. Well, and then I'm being an anime girl. That's not the part. But the weird part is, it's like I grew up watching all of this stuff, and yet I don't think I'm nearly as bad as like some of the other creators who are making stuff now. Like. And they watch the same exact thing too. And I sit here and I'm just like, how did this affect you to where you're like the way you are now? But I watch the same thing and I'm okay. Maybe I'm not okay. maybe there's something actually wrong with me.
Maybe you're not okay in a different way, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, that's obvious. But
you're an anime girl on the internet, Mari. Okay, you're not better than that.
I am better than them. That's what my mom tells me. Oh my gosh. If I ever tried to like tell my mom what I tried once. I tried to like tell my mom. And she goes, "Oh, well, you know, what?" She's like, "Oh, it's like Family Guy." And I was like, "Yes, it's like Family Guy, Mom."
What?
I said,
like
"Yes,
Family Guy."
And then my mom was like, "That's okay, Mari, as long as you're not on that dirty Twitch website." I was like, whoa! I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I went on time and there was this girl licking a microphone and I was like, oh my god, I know what streamer she's talking about. And why is that the first thing my mom's deaf, by the way. Like she's 80% deaf in both ears and like I have to do sign language. Why is that the first thing she sees on Twitch? My mother. Like, and again, my mom doesn't know the internet. She barely knows what YouTube is. She still watches like One Tree Hill and Children's Hospital on like HBO. Like this is my mom just does not understand. And my mom thinks Twitch is a like not safe for work website.
I mean, I think a lot of parents think that sort of thing. It's kind of like back in my day, back when they used to be like, oh my god, you can't read books like about magic and wizards and dragons and stuff like that. It's gonna corrupt your mind.
My mom would let me do anything as long as it didn't involve demons. That's like the only thing my mom would not allow me to watch. So, you know, like the exorcism of like, you know, Emily Rose or like The Exorcist. I was never allowed to watch those. I could watch like Friday the 13th, I think it's called. Like all the other horror stuff is fine. If it had a demon in it, I was not allowed to watch it.
Okay, but did your mom let you drink Monster? Because there was that whole thing with Monster where they were like, oh my god, it's the sign of the beast. Oh.
Yeah.
Fair. Understandable.
My mom would buy Pepsi and cigarettes, and that was the extent of.
Oh.
And I didn't like Pepsi, so I didn't drink soda. But it's interesting because, what's it called? Oh god, I just lost a brain cell. I was trying to
brain
think
cell?
about.
Wait, you had a brain cell? Where'd you get that? What the?
I brought it to class today. We have to share it though.
Oh, okay.
We have to share the one brain cell.
Well, you haven't passed it over yet. Come on.
I think I lost it. I'm not gonna lie. I dropped it. Oh god. I think it's so interesting how like, yeah, people think that wizards and stuff was like bad. That's so interesting because like my mom didn't care. My mom liked magic. My mom actually had a Ouija board when I was a kid, and she had a special one. It wasn't just the Ouija board. She had this typewriter. That was like a Ouija board where you could like I don't know how to describe it because I was really, really young. I don't remember a lot of it, but I do remember one time my mom had a babysitter, and I don't remember what the babysitter was doing, but when my mom came home, I don't remember this. She said, when I came home, you somehow found my Ouija board. And she goes, and I made sure I never used that when you were around. Like, this was hidden. This was really hidden.
It called to you, Mari. It called you. Okay, all right.
She comes to me and she goes, Mari, what are you doing? And I looked at her and I said, I'm on a ghost adventure, Mom. Look at the ghost that I found. Watch what the board can do. And I lifted my hands up and the board started doing some weird stuff. And ever since then, like I said, my mom would not allow me to watch any content that involved like demons or like spirits because of that incident. I think I was 5 when I did that. I don't remember it.
Do you believe in things like ghosts and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay, so my uncle has Down syndrome, and so he lives away from most of the rest of the family. He lives in like a nice, I guess it's sort of like a retirement home style thing, except it's more for people who need more help with like mental disablement sort of things. They also give him like a job and stuff like that. It's kind of neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. So he lives in a home like that. And my grandma passed away a few years ago. I think it was only 2 years ago, actually. And I still remember that we were like, at the time it was around the COVID stuff that was happening. There was a lockdown. We couldn't really talk to him. We wanted to tell him face to face that his mom had passed away, unfortunately. And so we waited and we waited and we waited and we were waiting until all of the lockdown stuff was done. We waited like several months. But at some point, I think around Thanksgiving or something, they called him and they were like, hey, happy Thanksgiving, all that stuff. And he was like, did mom go to heaven? He just knew already. Heck? Nobody told him. The staff were like, no, we didn't tell him anything. We wanted to make sure that you could tell him yourself. We didn't say a word to him. We haven't spoken to him about his mom at all in months. And he was like, did mom go to heaven? And we were like, yeah, she did. How did you know? And he said that she visited him. She said goodbye.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. You know, there's like a theory. I can't remember where I read it, but there's like a theory about people who are like neurodivergent or like on the spectrum, and how people who are on the spectrum are more hypersensitive to
spiritual things like that.
yeah, to
I've heard that
supernatural
too.
events.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like now, what's it called? I have like tarot cards that I'll use occasionally
Oh,
to
me
like
too.
heal and like meditate and relax because
Yeah.
you know life is stressful. You guys.
Mine are
You gotta find
Homestuck.
something. Yeah, they would be Homestuck. Yeah, I believe that. And I have a crystal pendant.
Oh.
And one time I had a friend come over. This was like maybe last year. And so she was telling me about this like game that you could play. I never knew about it, but it involves like my crystal pendant.
Mm.
And apparently the game goes where you take the pendant and you make it spin in circles like a couple of times and you like ask it questions. I can't remember like
I think I've heard of that before.
the trance you say about it or whatever. I can't
Mm.
remember. But she was like, "Oh, would you want to try it?" And I was like, maybe. Let me see what you're supposed to do, and I'll
Mm.
let you know how I feel about it. So she started to like do it, and I'm not even joking you. Within like 3 seconds, when she started to do it, I like grabbed her hand and said, "You need to stop doing it right now. You're about to do something you're going to regret." I don't know what it was. I've never heard of
boy.
this before. Whatever I had felt the moment she started doing that, I actually felt. And people in your comments, I don't care if your chat thinks I'm psychotic, whatever. I'm not joking when I say I actually felt a burning sensation in the back of my spine when she started doing that. Like within 3 seconds. And I immediately grabbed her and said, "Stop what you're doing. You're going to do something very bad."
Oh God.
So, and she's just like, okay, she didn't get it because she's one of those people that like doesn't, you know, again, like
Doesn't really
3
believe in that
seconds she
sort of
started
stuff.
doing it.
Yeah.
And I told her to stop. So yeah, it's very interesting
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
There's a museum I really want to go to, but like I'm kind of nervous. It's called the Zach Brannigan's Haunted Museum.
Uh-huh.
And it's in Vegas, where it's a museum where it has all these haunted like artifacts. Like they used to have Annabelle from The Conjuring.
Huh.
They have Dibbit boxes, which are called demon boxes. And they have like
Zap Brannigan from Futurama.
No, I think it's called Zach Brannigan or something. Hold on, let me see. It's called Zach.
Thanks for catching that, Skiff. I thought that I heard it, but I was
Zach
like, nah,
Baggins.
couldn't
Sorry,
be.
Zach Baggins. It's called Zach Baggins, the Haunted Museum.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
This right here.
Mm.
English is hard, you guys.
Mood. Zap Brannigan.
I miss Zach Baggins. Okay, to be fair though, look at the name. Tell me. Okay, ignore the COVID thing. I don't know what that's about, but like
visiting Las Vegas during COVID.
It's a cool thing, you guys. It's a haunted museum, and like I want to go because I've had friends who've gone there, and what's it called? They have like this. I cannot think of the name of the doll. It's not Annabelle. I think it's called Peggy.
Mm.
This doll is like so famous, and it has to do with like the internet, like the haunted powers of it like is through the internet, and because the powers of that doll came from people searching about her online.
Oh, crazy.
It's a really interesting lore about it, and like apparently you can pay extra money to go and sit with her and like ask her questions alone. I think it's her. It's either her or it's another like artifact. And I've never done this, but I had a friend who went in there one time and like was asking her questions, and the doll started asking her questions about her family. It knew her family's like her mother's name, and started asking like, oh, like, you know, when's it was. She told me like, she's like, I'm very skeptical about like supernatural stuff. That's why I went to it. And she goes, the moment it asked me my mother's name is when I actually started freaking out.
Oh, God.
And I was like, wow, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Allegedly names are power. Yeah, well, I mean, I was told about a lot of spiritual things when I was young. My parents were weird. Not only were they nerds like that, for some reason, they kind of like had the idea that they wanted to expose me to as many different potential belief systems as possible so that I could choose which one I actually wanted to believe in.
You have such progressive parents. That's
I know.
So wholesome.
Well, I also have like they had like gay friends already. I have like 2 gay aunts. Like my whole family was weirdly progressive. Anyway, but they took me to a Buddhist temple. They took me to like a normal like Christian Orthodox kind of church. They showed me like things about Wiccan stuff. They showed me different. We were part of the Californian Native American community, so they told me
really cool
about different Native American religions and stuff like that. Like they told me so many different things. So there were different points where like I would be, yeah, like Wiccan stuff too. There were different points where like I remember sitting with my mom or something and her going, yeah, this specific line on your hand, like if it goes all the way across your hand, and that means that you have the bloodline of a witch or something like that. And it was like, you know, just telling all these different things
just
to
like
me.
Palm reading, like what the heck?
Yeah.
My mom told me that you know, she told me that
yeah.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah.
We had a neighbor upstairs. That same house where I found her board. So the neighbor upstairs was a Wiccan, and her and my mom are best friends. And she's not just like any Wiccan. She was actually like part of like I don't know how else to describe it other than, you know how they have different statuses and titles for like certain stuff. Like she was part of like a higher status type of Wiccan. And I remember she had some interesting stuff in her house. Like, because the way the apartments worked was that it was like, you know, you have your apartment and then upstairs was like an attic, quote unquote, but it was an apartment attic. And I remember going into her house one time because my mom needed me to borrow sugar. I know that's such a like cliche story. I had to borrow sugar, and I remember going up there, and like she had some weird like staff. I do not know how else to describe it other than it was a staff. You guys, she had a staff.
Maybe she was like a high priestess.
I think she might have been. My mom still talks to this woman. You can look her up. Like she's like she has status. I cannot remember what her name is, but I remember looking at like this staff artifact thing. And I was like looking at it, and I don't know. Maybe it was the 5-year-old brain and like my ADHD imagination, but I kid you not, there was like an aura around that thing, and it was cool. It was really cool. It had like an emerald glow to it, and I don't know how it was doing that, but it was cool. I think it had to do something with like the way the sunlight might have been reflecting on the gems or something, but it looked really cool. I wasn't allowed to touch it, but it was really cool.
Yeah, there was a few things that I saw that definitely felt like they had some sort of power to them because, like I said, we were part of the Native American community, so there was a lot of things that were like passed down through generations, or like there was actually we had some family friends who had this buffalo skull that they brought with them, and they would always have, when we went to powwows and stuff like that, they would always have it in the middle of their lodge, their teepee, and they had it. A powwow it's we always used to just say it's a Native American gathering of nations, so it's pretty much just like a street fair sort of a thing, except it's also got lots of dancing and music and a drum circle. And
that's cool.
It's kind of just a celebration that was also used to, like, you know, help people spread native crafts and culture and stuff like that to people who just didn't really know that much about that sort of stuff. But so a lot of the people that usually went to the powwows had lodges, which are like teepees, the little triangle things. And we had these family friends that had a buffalo skull that they always would put in the middle of their lodge. And he like had a name, and you would say hi to him when you came in. And like this buffalo skull was always around for any like big celebrations or anything like that, and it was almost like part of the family.
You included him. That's so cool.
Yeah, but it felt like there was an actual connection there sometimes. Like it was an actual like important member of the family, and like it had to be there, and if it wasn't there, then something felt like it was completely missing, and it didn't feel like home anymore.
That's so interesting how, I guess, like, that is such a nuanced cultural thing, and like people are here to watch anime girls do anime things, and like that is such a specifically cultural thing. I find that fascinating. I find that very fascinating that like people grew up in such interesting circumstances.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you just give some time of day to learn a little bit about, you know, their lore, you'd be surprised to find out how people grow up. And it doesn't have to be necessarily negative or good or anything like that. Just it's interesting. Like
I was talking about the skull. Mom Pocket, do you remember what its name was? I forget what his name was.
You're talking about that skull again, aren't you?
The buffalo skull.
You're talking about that skull again.
Yeah.
And Homestuck.
And Homestuck. My Homestuck tarot deck. By the way, I use my Homestuck tarot deck constantly because, like, okay, I got the Homestuck tarot deck from the stupid freaking Homestuck game Kickstarter when they did that.
Oh my god, they did a Kickstarter?
They did a Kickstarter. They got like over $2 million. There's a whole scandal behind it. There's a huge, massive scandal behind it. It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot that went into that sort of thing. Anyway, but there was a Homestuck game Kickstarter. I spent $612 on it because that was a stupid Homestuck number, and I was a nerd, and I was like, is it worth it to spend this much money? And I had spent like so many years of my life on it, and I've made so many like really good friends from it at that point that I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? So I got like all of the perks. And I got this stupid Homestuck tarot deck with it. And I haven't gotten another one because I was told at one point from someone who also did tarot stuff that you're supposed to like be gifted these things, or they're supposed to have some sort of significance to them to be able to read you correctly. And that's the only deck that I've had that has like any real significance.
It's so interesting because, like, I have a lot of tarot decks. I use them for, like, different things. But my very first tarot deck, so I bought all of these, except for one of them. The very first one I saw online, and it's a dream deck. And, like, the theory behind the deck is that you're supposed to sleep with it, like, under your pillow.
Yeah.
It's supposed to, like, tap into your inner subconsciousness. And it's my first deck. And I love that deck to pieces. I don't really use my cards that often anymore at the moment, but that deck is just so interesting. Like, the art on it is so abstract. And besides that deck, I had a friend who had a deck called the Star Child. And I remember looking at the Star Child artwork, and it's such a very surrealism. It has surrealism in it. And that artist not only came up with the Star Child, but they came up with the Moon Child. So I own the Moon Child deck, and I love that deck to pieces. But whenever I would use my friends, like, the Star Child deck, it would actually burn my hands. It would burn my hands to use it. And when that happens, anyone who wants to get into tarot, this is like nerdy logic, but if you're trying to use a tarot deck and it starts burning your hands, you get like a sensation. Either one or two things are happening. One, the previous owner of it had really powerful energy, and it's more powerful than yours, so it's overtaking your energy. Or two, the deck is rejecting you. And so that's a good way to like indicate, you know, if the deck is too powerful for you to handle, or it's just flat out rejecting you. And a really good way to tell the difference is that over time, the burning sensations will stop when, like, because the theory behind it is that you're putting your energy and concentration into it. If the deck is flat out rejecting you, it's not going to work. It will not only burn your hands, but it will not feel right. You might feel sick using it. You're not going to get a good draw when you're like playing with it and stuff. And yeah, that's just how you kind of figure it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, there's a lot of superstitious stuff out there like that. Some of it I do follow, some of it I don't follow. It's kind of just about feeling, I feel like. If you notice that there's some sort of, if you feel something, like something bad or something good, then I feel like that means
That's
something.
a good indication.
With a lot of that superstitious stuff. So like,
it works for people too.
Triton said you can buy one, it's not a big deal, it's about the connection to the deck. That, yeah. Like, I bought my Homestuck one, but there was more of a connection there, and I haven't found one that has like another connection since then.
I have some decks that I don't feel any connection to. Like, I have this Cyberpunk deck, and everyone who I use the deck on, they love that deck. That's like the one they always pick. I don't feel anything from using that deck, but I use it for them. But I don't.
Pop culture looking deck.
Yeah. Yep. There's also the Oracle cards too. Like, you could get angels or fairies and stuff, because oracles are a little bit different than tarot. Because oracles are more positive, like affirmations.
I was gonna mention, somebody mentioned names having power earlier. That also comes from like Fae lore. A lot of like Fae stuff is like, if fairies have your full name, then they have full control over you, and they can like influence you and stuff like that.
And yeah, there's like a theory behind that where it's like, you know, depending on whatever like fairy you might be influenced by can determine the things that you do. It's interesting because I've read online that some people describe that as like, it's like a thought that comes into their head. And I'm like, that's so interesting, because some people don't even think. They just do. They just do.
Items of power are best made by your own hands with natural materials, but as long as you put power in them, they work. Yeah. Also, the George was the name of the skull.
George, I love that.
George. There was another one that was outside that was named Harvey. Mompaka's right.
I love that. That's so cool. Wow. Like, it's interesting with the things that make us nostalgic, you know? And I feel like, what's it called? People on the internet are so used to sensationalism that when you actually see, I don't know, like things like this, it's interesting how like some people think this is like sensationalized and like crazy and weird. But then like, I don't know, I think the really overly photoshopped Mr. Beast face that's like zoomed out with the golden background is kind of like sensationalized and weird.
Yup. Or all the weird like tinfoil hat theories about politics and stuff like that.
Oh my
gosh. It's like the same level of superstition, but like in a completely different direction.
I think everyone is superstitious though, to some extent. Everyone is superstitious about something, right? But they don't realize it's like superstition. A lot of them just say, "Oh, I don't know why I feel that way. I do," and it's like it's definitely a superstition, right? Because that's what it's based off of.
Old
some people get offended.
Old Dragon and Dokabi story. The dragon was devoured after being tricked into giving away his name. Huh. There's a lot of stories like that. There was one that was in native culture that was also similar to that. There's even so many things with names
we try to
having
get
power.
To know our names. Yeah. You're right. You know, that actually makes a lot of sense, because think of it this way. Even let's do something very, very simple, like a viewer. When you read out a viewer, like a chatter's name, you know, that has power to it too, right?
Yeah, it was Thunderbird. Thank you. Yeah. When you say like, because chatters are always trying to get you to say their name like by Shadow, thank you for being a member for another month. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
By the way, I missed super chats and I'm sorry and I love you. I'm just very distracted today.
No, just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but you're so right, though. Thank you, by the way, super chatters and people joining members supporting our lovely Kozi. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's really, really cool when people try to get me to read their names and it's something like Stinky Feet 420. And I'm like, thanks, Stinky. I don't even read the full name because if I think the name is like slightly offensive, I won't fully read it. I will read like a small section of it because I'm just like, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
I love reading the full name. I'll read the whole name myself and make sure that it's not like something terrible and offensive and stuff. But like if it's something like Point, just be like, thanks, Point Blank, motherfuckers.
Oh my god. You know, okay, have you ever encountered a chatter who would constantly change their name?
Yes.
And be like, do you remember me? And I'm like, if we're on the purple website, yeah, I can look at your chat history and I can see exactly what your name was. And you know what's crazy? When I look at your chat history, I've seen 5 times you've changed your name and you said, hey, do you remember me? I'm this person. I'm like,
oh my god. Thank God YouTube is going to like the username thing, so I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Thank goodness. I love it so much now because, yeah, I don't know. There's definitely something special about people like calling each other by their names. And there's definitely like an intimate feeling when you use someone by their name.
No, I don't remember you,
fascinating. I love that. Laughs
Who are you again?
Who? Laughs in my alts.
Laughs in 1 million alts. Okay, but I found out that I have like probably 20 different Neopets accounts.
Yeah.
I've been slowly logging back into them over time. I recently got back one that's called Irritating Little Weed.
What is that name?
You know, I had some names.
Okay. What kind of username were you? So I would have all of my usernames be a variation of my name, and I was like super cringe about it. I'd have like X's. I do like small X.
Oh,
and big
not
X.
the X's, no.
Or I would do like, I'd make my name rhyme. Like I was telling my chat like a couple months ago how I used to go by the name Mari Rari because that was, you know,
Rari.
And someone made fan art of me as a cat dinosaur VTuber.
Oh my god. Wait, no, now I want to see you in a dinosaur onesie.
I was like, you know what? I should have rebranded as a dinosaur.
Please get a dinosaur onesie. Thank you.
I need it.
Too many cursed RP accounts. Okay, well, fair, true. Understandable.
But were you the type of person that would do things like that? Or were you the type of person that would make your usernames like something so abstract and like weird?
So my usernames, I would usually try. Okay, well, I mean, at first I didn't care and I was a weird kid, and like one of my Neopets usernames is also moon_wolf_246. But if I wasn't doing like the cringy kid thing, I quickly got into the habit of like trying to create names that just sounded vaguely Japanese.
Oh god,
like
no!
One of them is named like Karuyu or something.
No! Oh my god.
Or like
wait, were you one of the people I scammed? I'm just kidding.
No, because I never fell for any of scams because I was too I knew too much, but yeah. Like Teneko-chan.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. What's it called? I would just make nicknames of my name. Like the Mari Rari was one of them, and then I think them.
I did the cringy Japanese name thing, and then I did vaguely similar to my name, but like kind of a RAR XD, and then now I just do. I mean, like KoziiChu is technically my current one, so you can think of that as you will.
I think that explains a lot.
I did though. I was one of those people. Oh my god, I was one of those teenagers on MySpace that had like my name was like XXX paranoia, and it was like, and all of the letters were like special characters, and it was like they all had a space in between them, so it was like
you were like an
XXX
aesthetic
paranoia.
username.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting how that's like fallen out of style now, and like nowadays younger people don't even come up with their own usernames. They just let it be auto-generated for them. Like on Xbox and stuff, you could tell it was auto-generated. Yeah, you were an aesthetics username.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I tried to make my stuff sound like real names. Like and then or it's just nicknames. Like the Mari was them. And then another one would be like I'd have like my name and then I'd make up like a last name or something. And now I'm, Mari Yume, so clearly that has not changed.
Yeah, I don't know what I would think of my username now. Like KoziiChu? I don't know. That's the thing.
It's interesting. Your name is really interesting because again, it's like it's a certain style of a username. So for example, on the Purple website, there are some people who are still very famous and they go by like, I don't know, something as like, I don't know, I'm just gonna make something up. I don't know if this is a real person, but let's say, for example, Nekochu or something, or like you'd see a name like the Rosy Weeb. It's like
yeah.
It's like
well, I mean, there's Charlie too. Penguin Zero.
Moist? Yeah,
Moist
what is
critical
that?
with a 1?
What is that?
And a K?
You can tell how old that man is based off of his.
Yeah. Sorry,
interesting.
apparently the Wikipedia says it's pronounced Penguin Z0. I'm so sorry.
Actually, I can't remember how to spell his username by that, so I just call him Charlie because
Yeah, same.
as you can tell, there's a reason why those types of usernames are not popular anymore. They're hard to remember, but you know what is easy to remember? A name.
True.
Gamer tags. That's the word. Yeah, it's like tags.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, I made KoziiChu with the idea that it was kind of like a gamer tag because I was thinking about people like Pokimane and stuff like that or like Nyanners who have like these really specific single word names that aren't
It's
like
so crazy.
they're not too short but they're not too long, but they're kind of gamer taggy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy to remember. KoziiChu is easy to remember, and like you did a good job with it. It's just fascinating though, because you went that route, and then I went the let's make it sound like an actual name.
The real anime girl on the internet. The anime girl on the internet that you always wanted her to be.
I went the personal branding style, which is like what all the lifestyle bloggers do, because it's like they just have a name, and it, you know what I mean? It's like a personal branding. It's so different.
Okay,
Gosh.
it's been almost 2 hours. Usually I only even do this for an hour and a half. We talk too much. But, this was fun. Maybe you could come back and talk to me about random brain rot things again sometime, because clearly we have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about.
There's so many things.
Boy.
I didn't even get into talking about things like the hamster dance and stuff.
Oh God.
Or banana phone.
Mm-hmm. Ring, ring, ring.
Banana phone.
Don't.
And then there's like there's that versus, dude. Everybody that was in like the Gen Alpha generation was like, millennials don't understand the skibbity toilet. They think that it's too weird. They just don't get it. And I'm sitting here like, what are you talking about? I watched Salad Fingers. I watched Hamster Dance. I watched Nyan Cat. What do you mean?
I tried to watch Skibbity Toilet, and I was making all of my little theories, and then I had the Gen Alphas coming in telling me I was wrong. And like, it's actually this. And I said, really? How do you have proof of that? Who told you that is the rumor? And like, oh, well, I just know. And I'm like, why can't I make my own theories when you made your own theories? Like, let me have fun and guess what's going on.
So true.
They're like gatekeeping me. They were like gatekeeping me from making my own theories, and then I stopped watching it because like it's weird because they want to explain everything to me. And it's like, let me make my own conclusions. I don't need to be spoon-fed. I can actually try to like figure stuff out that makes it more fun. If you spoon-feed me, it's boring. I don't want to do it anymore.
It's a game theory.
It is, and I'm like, just let me guess.
Salad Fingers was still going? Also, they released their final episode recently? What do you mean recently? How recently, Salad Fingers?
Well, I know what I'm watching after stream.
What, 1 day ago, Salad Fingers, every episode. Wait, what? A month ago? What the? It still existed? What the hell? Wild. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a thing that maybe I'll watch, but also probably not because Salad Fingers was very cursed.
Well, thank you for having me. This stream was not cursed. It's very interesting.
No, yeah, it's fun. I mean, this is basically what I mean, it's cringe to say, but what I dreamed that this would be.
Cringe!
Not cringe.
No.
Not cringe.
You may be cringe, but you are free.
Yeah, true.
We're free of the brain rots.
I think Game Theory was covering because of return. Oh, I see. Well then, I can't believe Game Theory is doing Salad Fingers theories. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna head out, guys. Mari, would you like to shill yourself really quickly?
Yeah, subscribe or else. And also don't check under your bed. I don't even know why I brought that up. But yeah, feel free to come check me out and listen to my long deranged tangents. Thanks to Kozii, this was way more structured. If I was the one running this show, this would have been like
you think this is structured?
Derailed.
You should have seen when Evan and I did it. It was a mess.
I love that. Yeah, I don't know. I like to talk about stuff.
Me too.
That's pretty much it. I don't know how else to describe it.
Same.
Also,
Mood.
make sure before you guys leave, make sure you subscribe to Kozii.
No,
leave a
subscribe to
like,
Mari.
Comment the last 3 digits of your credit card number. And
Yeah. Also, make sure you put your social security number down below. Very important. It basically tells the algorithm that I'm cool. So yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Point will say nothing. You subbed. Good. Yes, sub to her. Yes, good. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you next time. And I hope you had fun today. I hope you also had fun.
I did. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.